What is going on, you guys? My name is Curtis with the Seoul Dojo gaming channel, and this is our first impressions review of Pokemon Legends ZA. This is a very difficult one because I think the game is fun, but at the same time, I just feel like Game Freak is just playing us. I feel like Game Freak needs to do more. This game, in this franchise, in this series, needs to finally get that upgrade and a step up that it's been craving for a while now. As I said, it's Pokemon Legends, so it's part of the Legends series, considered a mainline title. I just feel like it's lacking in a few areas, and I know a lot of people, I've seen what a lot of people have been saying online. It's lacking in a lot of areas, definitely that, but it's part of the Legends mainline series, so that's, of course, we had Legends Arceus, which I feel like was a pretty good game at the end of the day. It had an open world, very big open world that kind of took you to the past before modern day Pokemon, and kind of how people started integrating themselves with the Pokemon species, and you could actually ride Pokemon. You can see them out in the wild. It was a really good game, and it just didn't get better from that. Like, this game isn't better than that. In a lot of ways, it takes loads of steps back. All right, so let's talk about some of the story that's going on in Pokemon Legends ZA. I won't go into any spoilers or anything like that, but it's like there's three different types of storylines that are going on. There's a mystery that's going on in Lumio City, which the game takes place, which is the same city from Pokemon X and Y. It's French inspired. I think we all know that. There's also a Pokemon Battle Royale from Z to A. You kind of rank up, and I'll get more into the gameplay loop and things like that. And then also there's like the Mega Evolution thing. I think it kind of ties in with the Secret of the City. I feel like we've had this before in Pokemon games. Like, there's this Mega Evolution kind of taking over Pokemon, and they're going rogue with it, and they're attacking people and things like that. I feel like we've had this before, but either way, it's just none of them are that important except the ZA Battle Royale. That's kind of the only reason why we're really playing. We're beefing up our Pokemon, we're training them, we're making them better. Let me talk a little bit about the presentation of the game. I'm playing on Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, some people I know are playing on the original Switch, but I can tell there's a significant difference between the Switch 2 version and the Nintendo Switch version. I feel like the graphics are a little bit sharper in undocked mode, and I think the game runs a lot better. It's running at that 60 frames per second. It does drop frames when you have multiple Pokemon on the screen doing moves and stuff like that, and I'll get more into that too. Yeah, it's not that bad. Lumio City in general isn't that bad. It's what you would expect from a modern 3D game. There is some caveat to that. Like, 90% of the buildings are inaccessible. The textures are here and there hit and miss. And these are kind of the things that I've been saying. Like, Game Freak is just holding back this series while other Nintendo titles are just getting better and better. If you look at Breath of the Wild, one of the best games ever created, and Tears of the Kingdom, even though that jump from that game, you just see the creativity come out of the Nintendo developers, and it just seems like Game Freak just isn't getting the memo with that. Lumio City, when you look at it on a map, doesn't look big. It is kind of empty in a lot of areas. It doesn't necessarily feel alive. There isn't like an open area of Pokemon that you will see. There isn't like an Outer Banks around Lumio City either. But I will say this, it is good that Lumio City is big vertically too. You can also get on roofs. You can, explore rooftops, and you can explore the underground a little bit, and I like that. I like the fact that there's different elements of exploring. Like I said, when you look at the map, it doesn't look that big, but when you actually run around, it is a decent size. It's not massive, it's a decent size. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I think this game is fun. Like, whatever you see online, people are saying this is the worst Pokemon game ever. No, it's not. You're just mad at Game Freak, which I am. I'm very upset with Game Freak because you just want more out of a Pokemon experience. But other than that, the game itself is fun. You have wild zones that you can go into, and you can catch and train Pokemon. And then at night you have your battle zones, and that is how you rank up and stuff like that. So you go into battle zones, you have a set number of tickets that you need to get, and how you do that is you just battle multiple types of trainers. So basically, there's a lot of layers to this. Like, you can do stealth on trainers, you can actually jump them from behind and get your Pokemon to attack them first. It's kind of reminiscent a little bit of like a Persona. You can travel around the battle zone, you can go up on the roof, there's multiple trainers there, and you just keep fighting trainers until you obtain the correct number of tickets. And then from there, you get a promotion match, and then you fight the rank leader of that rank that you're trying to reach. So usually it's like, you know, Z to Y to Y to W, like it's like that. So that's the gameplay loop. Genuinely, I think it is pretty fun. One thing I don't like about this game when I started it was very hold your hand as it was trying to explain all the systems and things like that. It was very much hold your hand, and it's like, for seasoned veterans, this is gonna suck. Like, the game is treating you like a child out of the gate, like, okay, we're gonna do this, then now we're gonna do that, and it takes a good while to kind of get out of that loop. Let's talk about combat, which I think a lot of people are gonna have loads of discussions about. I don't think that this needs to be the set combat for both series of games, like for the regular and for Legends, but I do like the different changes when it comes to combat itself. So Gone is the turn-based style, which I absolutely love. I love the turn-based style, and I hope they keep that around and keep implementing that into future games. But this one is a little bit more free-flowing. It's a little bit more combo setting. It's funny because you can switch out Pokemon so quick. It reminds me of playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 vs. 3, where you could just throw out different characters nonstop. Of course, when you do a move, it has a cooldown, so you can kind of move to a different move, then move to a different move, then go back to the first move that you did. So like, you can kind of set up your own combos here and there. Another thing that I find very funny is you get kind of pokey jumped a little bit. Some Pokemon, if you're in wild zones, will kind of come up to you while you're fighting another Pokemon, and then you're fighting like 3 different Pokemon. I think it's kind of funny, and I actually kind of like it. It kind of gives me a bit of a challenge, and it's something different that we don't see in Pokemon games. Overall, I think the game itself is fun, and if you're a Pokemon fan, I think you're going to actually get some value out of this. You will not like a few things in this game, by the way. If this is your first time jumping into Pokemon, this is probably not the Pokemon game to jump into. I feel like there's other games, especially on this Switch, like Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Legends Arceus, that might pique your interest a little bit more, but I think that Game Freak is just holding back at this point. When you look at other Nintendo games like Mario Odyssey and, you know, the Legend of Zelda series, these games are just getting better and better and better and winning Game of the Years and things like that. Pokemon just seems like it's stuck in a shell and it's not getting out of it. Game Freak is just not really improving the game, the overall fidelity of the game, and just the overall premise of it. They're just not improving it, and it's getting very frustrating. I think that Game Freak overall needs to leave the original Switch generation behind and just focus on Switch 2. So the next or the future Pokemon games, it needs to be solely and exclusively on Switch 2, because it's way more powerful than the original Switch. And I think we will get a better Pokemon game. I really do. These games should be a little bit further along than what this game is, and it's sad to see just we keep getting this for $70. Now, should you buy, wait for a sale, or skip Pokemon Legends ZA? Like I've said before, this game is fun. I think if you're a Pokemon fan, you should get it on a sale. Honestly, if you're not too bugged about it, you might want to lightly skip it. I mean, I'm just down the middle with it right now because I'm not sure. If you're a Pokemon fan, you love Pokemon games, yeah, there's fun to be had here, but not at the price point that they're asking it for. If you skip it, I don't think you're skipping a lot. I really don't think skipping this game is gonna be bad for you at all, especially if you're a longtime Pokemon fan, if you're just on the fringe about it, if you're on the fence about it. But if you want to buy it, please buy it on a sale. It's just not worth the full price point. My name is Curtis with the Seoul Dojo Gaming channel, and you can follow me on X at Cali from the Dojo, and make sure you guys subscribe to the Seoul Dojo, because man, we're doing a lot of first impressions at the moment. I think I have an Outer Worlds 2 one about to come out soon, and a Football Manager one going to come out soon. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and get in the comments and let me know what you guys think of Pokemon Legends ZA. All right, peace.